Every day, law enforcement officers put their lives on the line, sometimes suddenly finding themselves in danger and forced to decide on the spot to shoot or not. Today, we're going inside the training academy at MCC to see what the average person would do under pressure.
Drop the weapon, sir. Drop the weapon.
Officers go through months of training before they're faced with this situation. But if they don't make the right call, they could endure years of scrutiny afterwards. So would you shoot? Waco police invited me through their reality-based simunition training. Simunition is similar to paintballs, but they move faster and hit harder. Here I am, belt, gun, vest, and safety mask because, like the recruits, I was about to go through use of force training, but I didn't know what to expect. Before I can even put the car in park, the driver gets out of the car with a gun to his head.
Drop the weapon, sir.
And then he turned it on me. At one point, training director Conley Newman had to remind me to breathe. If this was real life, I'd be dead. The door wouldn't stop a bullet. I finally climb over the door and shoot him. Even though he was on the ground, his gun was still in his hands, so I keep mine drawn too. And then this happened. I shot him.
Your finger was still on the trigger.
What you interpreted as a threat caused an involuntarily tightening of your muscles. When that happens and your finger's on the trigger, that's not a good combination.
The next scenario is another traffic stop.
As soon as you come to a stop, pull up the park and get out of that car fast because you don't know what's coming.
Here we go.
Oh, you can't tell me what to do. What are you stopping me for?
This is how 1 in 30 traffic stops begin.
I need your license and registration, sir. I need your license and registration.
License and registration?
Yes,
My
sir.
license and registration? Okay, I'll give you my license and registration.
Sir, watch out, sir.
I got scared and went for my gun, afraid of what he might pull out of his jacket, but thankfully it was just his license. After about 5 more minutes of yelling at me, the driver went to get his registration, or so I thought.
Oh, sir, sir.
What was in his car?
A gun was in his car. But I asked him to go back to his car.
Right.
Yes,
Kind of creative, that one.
I did.
I made the right decision to shoot, but I could have avoided the entire thing if I had waited for backup and kept him away from his car. In my last test, tensions were running high.
2 individuals that were fighting, 2 individuals that were arguing, one of them yelling at the other one and pointing a gun at him. That we get all the time too.
Drop your weapon, sir.
The first thing I have to do is find out who's the suspect. With so many concealed handgun holders in Texas, that's easier said than done.
He was breaking into my car.
You were able to keep yourself calm and discover that he was a handgun license holder. And then once you discover that, you're able to talk him into putting it away, putting it down.
Then my focus turns to the suspect, searching and getting him in cuffs. But this is where I could have done more harm than good.
You started putting the individual on the ground. Now we ended up in a positional asphyxiation sort of situation.
Which I would have known had I gone through training. At the end of the day, my reaction time was too slow in all 3 scenarios. I was trigger happy in the first one, but I was able to stop myself from using excessive force in the second and third one.
Whether it's our life that could be taken, or the individual with whom we're dealing's life that could be taken, it could be our kids being orphaned, it could be their kids. And the important thing for us is that we've got to be able to answer for each and every time that we pull that trigger. If we're forced into that situation, we've got to be able to answer for that.
Any shooting caught on video can be watched frame by frame after the fact, but in the moment, officers have to make a decision like that. I hope this story opens your eyes to what life is like behind the badge.